Hello and welcome back to Joe's Nose NFL episode 17 for week 17 with the same crew as we had last week. Matt Freeman, Dom Rafina, Bobby Christensen, and me, Jack Cummer. Let's get straight into the rapid fire game picks. Last night, Thursday Night Football played in the Jets, got blown out by the Browns. So we'll start off with the first 1 o'clock game, 11-4, Miami Dolphins versus the biggest win of the season, 12-3, Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, I've been on this Ravens team all year. They've been my pick, since the season opener. And I'm going to keep riding with them. I'll take the Ravens, especially at home.
Yeah, this is gonna be actually this is not surprising at all. Give me the Dolphins. The Dolphins are gonna make a statement in these last two games against the Ravens and the Bills. They're gonna shock the world. All right, give me the Dolphins.
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel like it's hard to argue that the Ravens are the best team in the NFL right now after last week. I've been on the Ravens all year long, unlike Guac, obviously, who's been quite opposite. But, yeah, I think the Ravens are going to take care of business and win the AFC North this week with the win.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for them to lose at home. I'm going to be taking the Ravens as well. 4-11 Patriots versus a red-hot 9-6 Bills.
Yeah, I'll just take the Bills.
Yeah, I'm taking the Bills.
Yeah, Bills.
Yeah,
But
Bills,
I actually think the game's going to be pretty close. I think the Patriots can keep it close.
Bills as well. For me, 7-8 Falcons trying to not get eliminated. Also, not trying to get eliminated. 6-9 Bears.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Bears are going to win this one, and I think this is going to be the game where, if he hasn't done it already, Justin Fields is going to solidify himself as the quarterback of the future for the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Bears at home.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Bears here. Like Matt just said, Justin Fields, I really do have a lot of confidence in him. I think he just needs a little bit more around him. And yeah, he's gonna make a statement game here, keep his name in that organization, and look to hopefully go draft probably Marvin Harrison at the number 1 pick.
Yeah, it's a sweep for us. I also have the Bears 5-10 Titans versus the Texans who are trying to win the division.
Yeah, I'll take the Texans, especially at home. Stroud's coming back from injury. This is going to be a hard team to beat.
Yeah, I'm taking the Texans as well.
Yeah, I'll take the Texans here.
Yeah, Stroud coming off injury. I totally agree with the win there. 7-8 Raiders off a huge win, first time since 2020, beating the Chiefs versus an 8-7 Colts.
I'm actually going to take the Raiders here. I just think this team is red hot. They're inspired with the head coaching change from the middle of the year. And I just think that they're going to find a way, or at least attempt to find a way to sneak into the playoffs, make it a little bit interesting down the stretch.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Raiders as well. They're gonna stay hot after a great win against the Chiefs and keep it rolling.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Colts here. Before this week, they were red hot. It was Minshew mania all over the NFL. And last week, it was a little bit of a rough game. But I think they're gonna bounce back here. They're gonna keep themselves in this AFC playoff hunt with a win here at home.
Yeah, I'm gonna be taking the Raiders on the road to win this one. Bryce Young playing better for the 2-13 Panthers versus the Jaguars, who Trevor Lawrence is trending towards not playing.
Yeah, I'm as badly as I want to pick the Panthers here. They're just really a tough team to watch. There's not a lot to like, so I'm gonna take the Jags at home.
Yeah, I'm taking the Panthers here. Trevor Lawrence might not play. Even if Trevor Lawrence plays, I still think Panthers are gonna win. Jaguars are nothing special. Give me the Panthers.
Yeah, that Lawrence isn't going to play. I'm going to take the Panthers, likely. But, yeah, the Panthers got nothing to lose. They don't have the first-round pick. They're playing for their jobs right now. They're playing really good football, not good football, really hard football. So I think they're going to take care of business this week against Jags, and yeah.
I'll be taking the Jags at home, even if Trevor Lawrence does not play. 8-7 Rams versus 5-10 Tyrod Taylor Giants.
I'm gonna take the Rams. I just think they're the way more inspired group here. I mean, they're fighting for a playoff spot. Matt Stafford's playing fantastic football, so I think the Rams are the clear pick here.
Yeah, I'm taking the Rams as well. Kyron Williams might have 500 yards rushing.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Rams here, obviously. But real quick about the Rams. The Rams are a very, very sneaky team if they get into this NFC playoff pool. Their offense is loaded, and their defense is playing a lot better. So, yeah, Rams are going to win this week but big But yeah, Rams are a sneaky team to watch for come playoff time.
Yeah, I think if they get a win here, they're most likely going to get into the playoffs. I also have them winning on the road here. Couple of old coaches, John Gannon versus his old team in the Cardinals versus the Eagles.
Eagles.
Yeah, I'm taking the Eagles.
Eagles.
Yeah, clean sweep for the Eagles. In division matchup, 7-8 Saints versus on the 4-game win streak Buccaneers.
I'm actually going to go with the Tampa Bay Bucks, and it pains me. I've been a big Saints guy most of the year, but I mean, that offense is trending in the right direction, but they just can't get both at the same time. Their offense is good, their defense is bad. When their defense is good, their offense is bad. Playing in Tampa, I just don't see them getting the job done, so I'll take the Bucks.
Yeah, I'm taking the Bucks as well.
Tampa.
Yeah, with Baker playing for a contract and a playoff spot, I'm also taking the Buccaneers. 11-4 49ers coming off their worst loss of the season, 4-11 Commanders.
I think this is a get-right game for the 49ers. They might win by triple digits.
Yeah, 49ers.
Niners.
Yep, Niners as well. Mason Rudolph leading a big win last week for the Steelers versus the 8-7 Seahawks.
I think that the Seahawks are a very tough team to beat at home, especially when their playoff lives are on the line. So I'm going to go with the Seattle Seahawks here.
Yeah, give me the Steelers. I mean, they're definitely going to win this game. You know, defense is going to step up, make some big plays, and we're going to get it done. I don't care where it's at.
Yeah, as much as it pains me to say this, I really do think the Steelers are going to win this game. Mason Rudolph was pretty good last week, and I think he's going to get it done again this week. The Seahawks have not been looking too sharp. I would say probably the last 6-7 weeks. They've just been kind of up and down, but yeah, I think the Steelers are going to get it done this week and keep the push for the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm going to slow down the Steelers talking Mason Rudolph. I'm just going to take the better team in the Seahawks. Moving on, 5-10 Chargers versus Russell Wilson, no more Denver Broncos.
I'm going to take the Chargers here. I think karma is going to come back and bite Sean Payton and the Broncos. Russ has been playing great this year. I don't really understand why we're benching him in the middle of the year, so I'm going to take the Chargers.
Yeah, Broncos country, let's ride. You know, it's sad because Russ is the one that started that, but I'm taking the Broncos here.
Yeah, I'll take the Chargers.
And Dom, most likely Russell Wilson is to go to the Vikings. They have it right now, but I'm going to be taking the Broncos to win this one. 8-7 Bengals versus 9-6 Kansas City Chiefs, looking like a very bad team right now.
I mean, I'm just going to continue to stay on this Chiefs train. I'll take Kansas City Chiefs. I just think that they're due to turn it around eventually, especially with the playoffs coming up, and it's being played at Arrowhead. So I'll take the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm taking the Chiefs as well. I think Taylor Swift should break up with Travis Kelce because that is the reason they're playing terrible. Once she's gone, they're going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I watch this Chiefs team every week, and they honestly have gotten worse the last couple of weeks. That offense just looks completely depleted. Kelce does not look the same. So I'm going to take the Bengals here. I think they're the better football team right now, playing better football. They're going to go into Arrowhead and keep their playoff hopes alive also.
Yeah, two very familiar teams played a lot in the last couple of years. Would have loved to see us as Joe Burrow versus Mahomes, but I'm going to be taking the Bengals to win as well. I think Browning will get the win for that one. Last game on the agenda, 7-8 Green Bay Packers versus, I believe, Jaron Hall starting for the Vikings.
I'm going to take the Green Bay Packers. I think Jordan Love has really been showing some good flashes for the Packers, and I think it's going to start to come together as this season comes to an end. So I'll take the Packers in an interdivision matchup.
Yeah, I'm taking the Vikings here 100%. At home, playoffs on the line. Jaron Hall has the rock in his hand. He's going to take them to the playoffs. He's going to get the job done. Just watch.
Yeah, I think I'm with Matt here. I think Jordan Love has definitely shown flashes. He had that really, really good 3-week stretch before he played my Giants, and he was playing like a top 10 QB in football. And then he kind of slowed down. But, yeah, I think these last 2 weeks are going to be a good thing going into the offseason for him to play really good football. So I'm gonna get the Packers here 8-8.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is going to be like Jordan Love's rookie-defining moment. I think he's going to have that huge win and try and get his team into the playoffs to win out. Next up, we're going to do our overreactions or not. We'll have 4 prompts for things that have happened in the past couple of weeks. We'll start with last night. Browns are a huge winner of the Jets. So Joe Flacco and the Browns, can they win the AFC?
I'm just not fully convinced that they will. I will say there is a slight chance, but just thinking how they're going to get past the struggling Chiefs, but they've done it so consistently. I mean, you look at the Ravens; they're the best team in football right now. They're obviously the favorite to win the AFC, and then the Bills, they're red hot. They have playoff experience. I just don't see how the Browns are going to get to the finish line. Although Joe Flacco has been playing pretty well, I just don't see how he's going to lead this Browns team to win the AFC.
All right, I think this is a complete overreaction. As I said before, Dolphins are gonna get hot. Dolphins are gonna win the AFC Championship, and they're gonna do it. Let them get hot. Let them cook. Tyreek's taking them to the Super Bowl. This is an overreaction.
Yeah, I can't say if it really is or not, but I would say it's right in the middle. I don't think it's an overreaction, but I don't think it's not an overreaction. They'd have to get through the Ravens, which is in division. They got to get through the Dolphins, which they have the defense to stop that offense. The Chiefs, which I think overall they're a better team right now than they are than them, and really the Bills. If they can somehow get through the Bills, I think the Bills and the Ravens are the 2 teams that they're going to have to beat. If they could get through those 2 teams, I think that they can take care of business against every other AFC playoff team. So I wouldn't say it's a crazy overreaction, but yeah, I think I like it.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I think I like how Joe Flacco is playing. I think he's definitely playing good. Right now, he has 12 turnover-worthy plays on the season. That's already more than like Brock Purdy or different other or Lamar Jackson. That's already more turnover-worthy plays than then in the very short stint that he's played. And I think that's going to catch up to him. Watching it last night, he definitely threw the ball in the right place a lot of times, but there was a lot of times where they should have been turnover, at least 2 of them in last night's game. I think it's going to catch up to him later in the playoffs. I don't think they're going to somehow get close to the AFC Championship. Moving on, the Chiefs are dead and will not go anywhere in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think this is a heavy overreaction. I've been believers in this Chiefs team for most of the back half of the regular season. I just think you cannot count. I think it's something similar to what we all did with Tom Brady towards the end of his career. We would count him out. We would say, he doesn't look very good. They don't look very good. And then he just finds a way to get it done. I don't think it's crazy to say that Mahomes is becoming a similar figure where I don't think we can count him out. I mean, he's been so successful in the playoffs, and I get it. This team is not the exact same as recent years. I just think calling them dead and saying they're not going to go anywhere is outrageous for a guy with the pedigree and track record that Mahomes has in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think this is an overreaction as well. As I said earlier, I think Taylor Swift is bringing this team down. As soon as she came into the league, she brought this team down, and she's still doing it. This team has been absolutely terrible while Travis Kelce's been dating Taylor Swift. So once she's gone, they're most likely going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'm going to say that this is not an overreaction. I was a big Chiefs bandwagon at the beginning of the year, all the way through the year, up until these last couple of weeks. I think I said it last week on the show. Mahomes' body language and the way he's been acting on the sideline, on the field, is just taking this team apart. I feel like if it's not just how they're playing, but if it's also emotionally and confidence between the players, I think that's what it's doing it for me. I think there's arguably 4 or 5 better teams in the AFC playoff pool right now than the Chiefs. So I would be very surprised if they do go anywhere in the playoffs. Maybe they get 1 win, but definitely not multiple.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's not an overreaction. I think Kelce and the defenses in this league, they have finally figured out how to stop him. You could see since week 6 he hasn't had a 100-yard receiving game, which is very, very unlike him. I don't know if he's close to 1,000 yards.
He is.
Yeah, but
somehow
Their receiver Rashee Rice is amazing. Outside of that, Justin Watson, he's solid, but like Sky Moore, Kadarius Toney, all the other Marcus Valdez.
Tony's not in the NFL.
Yeah, they're
Tony's
actually
the worst receiver in the NFL.
like it's actually very bad. The defense is definitely one of the best they've had in the past couple of years, but I still think this offense is just figured out finally. And without Eric Bieniemy, which is a huge loss for them, in my opinion, and it's just Andy Reid on the offense, I don't think they are the same team with honestly a strong AFC in the playoff picture to win the AFC or win the Super Bowl this year. Moving on, we're going to go over to the NFC. Lions have the second best chance to win the NFC after winning the NFC North for the first time in 30 years.
Like, I'm sorry if I'm raining on parades here. I think that this is another overreaction. You look at this NFC East team, this NFC East pool, right? And I believe that the Cowboys, when it comes down to it, are built a little bit better to get the job done in the playoffs. I think that the Eagles are built to get the job done in the playoffs. They've done it before. I mean, and then obviously you look at the 49ers, they're proven, they're battle tested. I don't see how this Lions team is going to make a run when they don't have too many quality wins. I mean, they got absolutely blasted by the Ravens. But what is their best quality win on the year? A win against the Chiefs without Chris Jones, without Travis Kelce? I don't really see where they're super battle tested and proven. So I think second best chance to win the NFC is a little bit wild when the Eagles, the 49ers, and the Cowboys all exist.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Matt. I think all those teams are definitely better than the Lions. But I do think if the Lions play most of their games at home, then they definitely could win the NFC Championship.
Yeah, I think this is an overreaction. I think they're probably more like the third most likely team in the NFC. Not being the Cowboys, being the Eagles. I'm a big believer in teams traveling well, and the Lions' offense could travel. They have a really, really good offensive line with two stud running backs, and no matter what, they don't have to rely on their pass game as they do so very well. Obviously, with Laporta, Amon-Ra, James Williams, in that offense. Their defense has played relatively decent. Obviously, like Matt said, they haven't played too good competition. They play the Cowboys tomorrow night, right? That's going to really show what this team's made of. Although it is in Dallas, so if Dallas does go to the Lions, it could be a little bit of a different story. As we all know, Dallas is away home splits.
Look, I'm going to say it's not an overreaction only because of the fact that I think we all agree the best team in the NFC are the Niners. And in my opinion, in the NFC, the way to beat them is by a shootout. And we've seen the Eagles at home get blown out by the 49ers. And then we saw, in Levi, which is definitely a hard place to play, Cowboys get blown out. And I think Lions definitely have the better offense of those two teams. I think they're the team most capable of getting into a shootout with the Niners and somehow squeaking out a win against them. I don't think you see teams already that have been blown out, like the Cowboys and Eagles from the Niners. I think Lions have the best chance to win, the second best chance to win the NFC outside of the Niners. Moving on, we got the Buccaneers to have a chance to make a magic run in the playoffs, currently on a 4-game win streak.
Yeah, so this is a bit of an interesting question here. I don't like it. It depends what you consider a magic run. I would consider for the Bucs winning a singular game in the playoffs. I would consider that somewhat of a magic run, and I think they do have a chance to do that. I think that this is just a solid team all the way around. I think their offensive line is solid, the defense is solid, and Baker, he definitely does not shrivel up in the big moment. He rises to the occasion. So with all of that being said, they have the good fundamental things in the game, and then Baker is playing at a phenomenal level. So they definitely could win a game. 2, no way, but definitely have a chance to win one game.
At the end of the day, anybody has a chance to make a magic run. But, I don't think the Buccaneers will be doing that. Their secondary is absolutely terrible. and that's the last thing you want to be bad in the playoffs. They're going to get cooked, and it's going to be over at halftime. But Baker has been playing amazing, but I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, I mean, you look at their schedule and you look at their losses. They lost to the Eagles, they lost to the Lions, they lost to the Bills, lost to the Texans, they lost to the Niners, they lost to the Colts. And then some of the teams they beat the Panthers, Falcons, Packers when they weren't playing too well, Saints, Bears. It's like they haven't proved anything against really good teams. So I'm going to say this is a little bit of an overreaction. Although Dom's right, any team can make the run in the playoffs. Anything can happen in the playoffs. And Baker can do some crazy stuff. But, yeah, I think this is a little bit of an overreaction. I think their first-round exits, if not, maybe one win. But that's it.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's an overreaction as well. It's kind of like the NFC South reminds you of like the ACC versus SEC football in college football. It's just like when ACC versus they can't do anything against them. That's what I think the NFC South is right now. I think it's such a bad division that right now they go into the playoffs that definitely have some good wins in division. Outside of it, have not looked good. So I think it's an overreaction to say that they'll win 1 or 2 games in the playoffs. But moving on from our overreaction or not, we're going to get into the MVP debate. It's very hot right now. Matt, you could say your MVP and why.
Yeah, so I think, first off, this is a terrible year for the MVP. That goes without saying. When I'm judging this award, people might say, oh, like it's flawed because it's a quarterback award. I agree. I think the award itself is flawed, especially it really being the only major award in the NFL. But if I'm going off of the definition of MVP, right, most valuable player, I just do not believe I think it's very, very difficult for anyone that's not a quarterback to win that award, because I think everyone here will agree quarterback is the most important position on the field, the most valuable position on the field. So based on that, I'm actually going to take Dak Prescott to be my MVP. And this is a little bit out there. He has fallen off a tad. But, I mean, the numbers do speak for themselves as of late. I mean, his weapons are okay. They're okay. I will not lie. But compared to some other guys atop of the statistic leaders for quarterbacks, like Tua, like Brock Purdy, the weapons just do not compare. So he's top 5 in passing yards, which is incredible. He's number 3 in passer rating and number 3 in QBR. He has an incredible touchdown to interception ratio. It's 30-7. It's one of the best in the NFL. And his completion percentage is phenomenal at 68%. So he's near top of every single category in the NFL passing. He had a lot of hype for the MVP, and it died away. And I'm really not understanding why, because Lamar Jackson doesn't seem to have the numbers to get it done, I think, to be the MVP. Josh Allen turns the ball over way too much. Brock Purdy, I mean, I said I believe that he gets carried heavily by his teammates and had an atrocious game against the Ravens with the biggest spotlight. I don't see any other quarterback that is better than Dak Prescott this year. And with Tyreek probably not reaching 2,000, I think the most valuable player in the league this year is Dak Prescott. So I'm going to go with Dak Prescott for my MVP.
I totally agree with you. This is the biggest QB award ever, but I think there's someone that deserves it more, and I think that's Tyreek Hill. He has 106 receptions, 1,641 yards, and 12 touchdowns, I believe. 32.7 target share, which is first in the league. 629 yards after catch, which is also first in the league. He averages 15.5 yards a catch. I mean, he's absolutely balling this year. And honestly, I wouldn't even count him out to break 2,000. It's not over yet. He can pull 200 at any game he wants. So I definitely think he deserves this. I mean, I don't think the Dolphins would be anywhere close to where they are now without him, because they feed him the ball every single game and he makes big time plays. So I think Tyreek Hill is the MVP.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Dom's route but a non-QB player. I'm going to go with Christian McCaffrey. Let me explain something real quick when it comes to that San Francisco offense. Yes, they have Debo. Yes, they have Ayuk. Yes, they have Kittle. Yes, they have McCaffrey. Yes, they have Purdy, I guess. All right. That offense runs through McCaffrey. It runs through McCaffrey in the passing game, runs through McCaffrey, obviously, in the running game. McCaffrey by far has the most rushing yards. He's got 1,400. He's got 14 touchdowns, 258 carries, which is all of them are first. And he has a lot of receiving yards as he has 537, which is almost a wide receiver 2 stat line. He's by far the MVP. If we're not going to do QB, he runs that. The best team in the NFL is ran through him. That offense. They put up a lot of points. He's on the field every play. He's doing something every play, whether it's blocking, receiving, or running the ball. And I just don't see how a guy like him, when you give the ball to him every single time, and you expect something to be an explosive play, it happens. I feel like that's the most valuable player to a football team that there can be.
Yeah, Bobby. See, the problem with this award, I agree with you wholeheartedly. And the problem with this award is I think everyone here can agree quarterback is the most valuable position on a football team. And I would argue that running back is one of the least valuable positions on a football team just based on how replaceable it is. We see it time and time again. I think Christian McCaffrey is one of the guys that isn't necessarily replaceable. So I agree he is incredibly special. But, I think the talk of it being a QB award, that's what it is. It is a QB award for the most part, unless you have such an outstanding year like Tyreek getting 2,000. I mean, CMC, maybe. I mean, he has a case, but I just with it being called a QB award, it is. Let's just face it. It goes to generally the best QB in the league. So although I like both of your answers, I just think most valuable player goes to the quarterback most of the time because it's the most valuable position on the field. So it's just a very weird situation. I just wanted to throw that out.
Yeah, I'll talk about the guy that nobody has picked yet. I don't think he is the MVP in my opinion, but Lamar Jackson. Look, if you want to compare his season right now to his 2019 season, you can. It's honestly not close. His 2019 season, he threw for 36 touchdowns. He threw for a little bit less yards than he is right now. And his EPA per play was way over positive 0.34. And his rating was 113. His rush yards were 1,200. He was a way better player in 2019. I wouldn't say better player, but he had way better stats than he did in 2019. Right now, he's throwing for 19 passing touchdowns. His EPA per play is neutral. His rush yards are only 786. I don't really see where these stats come out to me and say this guy should win the MVP. I get he's the most valuable player on the best team right now, but if I'm going most valuable player, I'm honestly taking Matt Stafford. The guy's stats are there. He missed one game against the Packers. In that game, they only scored 3 points, only had 10 first downs. That Packers defense is one of the worst in the league. Baker Mayfield, Kirk Cousins, Bryce Young, Tommy DeVito all registered their best game against that Packers defense. And the one game Matt Stafford missed, they only scored 3 points. I think when you look at most valuable player, you take Matt Stafford off of this Rams team, I don't think they're the same team at all. I don't think they're even near this playoff conversation.
I like that a lot, actually.
No arguments.
I did.
Really quick, I mean, I want to give love to the guy, probably my favorite player in the league right now, due to where he went to school, CJ Stroud. Based on that same reasoning, I don't think it's crazy for Stroud to be in this same conversation. I mean, we've seen in recent weeks, this Texans team is nowhere near the playoff contender without CJ Stroud versus when they have him on the roster. I mean, even as just a rookie, throw the rookie stuff away. He has been one of the best quarterbacks in the league this year, bar none. I mean, rookie or not, he's playing like a seasoned vet. And this is where, it's hard because I understand that he's not on a dominant team, and I understand his touchdown numbers don't really jump out at you. He has missed 2 games, but I think he needs some sort of recognition for how incredible he's been playing and how this Texans team just does not go without him.
All right, well, that'll do it for Joe's Nose NFL episode 17 for week 17. So for Matt Freeman, Don Rafina, Bobby Christensen, Jack Kemmer,